Yo, what's up everyone, and welcome back to another video on the house TDM. So pretty much this is going to be an updated beginner's guide, and I know I have made two in the past, but realistically I think it's about time we make a new one because there's a lot of considerable noticeable changes to the game, especially mainly being the map, and so everything else has been kind of like rearranged. So I think it's just a great time to go ahead and make a new one. So let's go ahead and get started. So to start off, you guys are going to go ahead and see this on your screen. And pretty much this is going to be your daily rewards. Every time you log in, you'll be able to collect one of these per day. But if you guys do not see this, all you guys got to do is click on the calendar on the left side right here. Click on it and it'll pop up. Next, let's go ahead and talk about our Playtime Rewards, which could be selected with the present on the left side. And pretty much the more you play the game, the longer you stay in the lobbies, you'll pretty much be able to collect all these rewards, which include your soul gems, voodoo tokens, which you use to pretty much put boosts on your towers or characters. You have mystery urns as well as your chapter 2 urn way at the end. Now let's go ahead and kind of move on to codes, because I think it's important for you guys, if you guys are barely starting, to know some codes. And so pretty much in the code section, you could also go to their page. You go on Discord or to their individual page on Roblox, and you can pretty much go ahead and just click on the game, and then from there you'll be able to see some codes. And right here, it's taking a while to load, but pretty much these are going to be some codes right here. So you have So 30K, you have Happy 40K, you have House 50K, and H75K. And pretty much you will get a total of 400 soul gems and 20 voodoo tokens, which is going to be a great start. Another thing you could put right here is going to be Jerome ASF, which is going to pretty much give you this character down here on the bottom, as well as Melon Masher. So just keep that in mind as well. And let's go ahead and move on to the next thing that we're going to talk about on the bottom left hand corner, which is going to be the door. Pretty much this location will take you to any individual's player's room, I should say. And pretty much you're going to have different varieties of the rooms. You're going to have ones that are going to be open for everyone, which is going to be green. You're going to have it friends only, which is going to be yellow. So if you're not friends with the person, you won't be able to enter. And sometimes they have it unlocked, which is red, so you won't be able to join. But I'm going to go ahead and go into my room just so you guys have an idea of what it looks like. And so pretty much this is what the room looks like. You're going to have some pedestals to go ahead and put some boss heads. You could put urns as well, or other items as well. You have 6 locations in the middle to put some towers or heroes. And you also have some locations to put clip arts. And the way you get these clip arts is by beating the boss the first time, and you go ahead and get a clip art. And let's go ahead and move on to our backpack now. Pretty much in our backpack, we do have some unique featured items in here, which are going to be unique to any events that are currently happening. So pretty much we do have some Roblox urns here that you guys could definitely check out on your own. And in case if you guys do not want to grind for soul gems, you also have the option to pretty much buy soul gems as well. You could also gift people stuff. There is going to be a little gift icon on the top left. You can't see it because my webcam's here, but you can see it. You click on the web, or not on the web. You click on the gift symbol, and it'll pretty much tell you to select something to gift to someone. Once you buy it, you could go ahead and send it to them. Next thing you have is your heroes tab, and pretty much in the heroes tab, you pretty much have all your heroes pretty much sorted in here. And you also have your hero log, which shows you your non-shinies that you currently have, as well as your shiny log, which tells you all the shinies you have. If you guys don't want to just look through them, like look for a certain character just on the regular part, you can pretty much just click on any of these icons on the side. So pretty much you have shiny assortments, which will sort of all your shinies. You have your epic, which is going to be green. Your rare, which is going to be blue. You have legendary, which is going to be purple. Mythic, which is going to be yellow. You have red, which is going to be secret, and arcane, which is going to be turquoise. And pretty much also when you click on any hero as well, they will give you some stats as well as some tags. And let me go ahead and hide my webcam real quickly so you guys can kind of see it. So pretty much you guys can see right here, you do have damage, speed, range. Some will have boost and some will be definitely very different. And on the side you're gonna have some tags as well. Usually these tags, if there's any boosters that can pretty much boost any of these tags, your character will get a big boost. Also, any shinies do a 25% more damage than regular towers, so that's pretty much a good thing to know too. Also, if you have Demon Mage or Wizard, these guys do pretty much give 10% boosts to all heroes. So Wizard and Demon Mage, those are universal boosters, so just keep that in mind. If you guys are starting off the game, you want to get Demon Mage or you want to get Wizard, which is probably going to be something you could trade for. Demon Mage you could still get in the summons, Wizard you cannot. So just keep that in mind. Another thing I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys is pretty much our urn selection. And let me go ahead and get my webcam back up. Oh my, pretty much you do have urns right here, and pretty much any urns that you earn through, whether it's in the floors, whether it's in Playtime Rewards, whether it's in endless mode or any other mode, they'll pretty much show up right here. And pretty much you do have like a lot of urns here too. Over time you'll be able to collect a lot more, and I would just recommend to you guys, open these urns whenever there's a ×2 or ×3 event, unless if it's like something that's not really that valuable, like a rare urn or an epic urn. I would just definitely just suggest like opening the majority of these during the ×2 or ×3 boosted event, just because you'll usually have a higher chance of getting a shiny or a better secret. Next, let's go ahead and move on to our collectibles. And pretty much these boss heads right here are some things that will pop up in the collectibles. And the way you get these boss heads is when you play on the floors. Once you get to level 1 and you continue progressing, level 2, level 3, level 4, all the way to level 50, once you beat the boss on level 50, you're able to get their head. So just keep that in mind as well. You also have some stuff right here that are going to be collectibles, like your royal chalice, some swords. You have some orbs right here, which I will go ahead and talk to about that a little bit more in the past event, or past like let's say past realms. I'll go ahead and talk a little bit more about that. You have your realm keys, you have a circus key, and you have like a lot of miscellaneous stuff in here, like some tokens as well. Also, you have body parts, and pretty much body parts, sometimes you'll get them from defeating bosses, and they'll give you parts. And these parts you will actually be able to use to create new towers, so just keep that in mind too. Always good to keep them, especially if it's this guy, because this guy's pretty OP from what I be hearing. Also, your clip arts, as I did mention to you guys earlier, you do pretty much get these little clip arts when you beat the boss the first time, and they will all be assorted in the art category. Last but not least, on the backpack we have our pets, and pretty much for your pets you have a 2% chance of getting them when you beat a boss, so just keep that in mind. You could definitely play it over and over and over again to get a pet, or you could also buy them. And right now the only one that I know that is buyable is the lion pet. Pretty much you could buy them for circus gen, so we'll talk about that a little bit later. And if you want to equip one, you're just going to click on the whatever pet you want, and then you're going to click equipped, and then he will be following you. Now let's go ahead and kind of move on to summons. So I'm going to go ahead and click the summon button. And pretty much, if you guys don't want to click the summons button, you could pretty much walk there from spawn. So I'm just going to reset so you guys have an understanding of how to get there. Pretty much, you're going to just walk all the way to the back, and then you're going to go all the way to where it says the tomb. And from there, you could go ahead and summon some units. And if it's your first time playing, you're going to actually have to head over here and summon one troop, because you won't be able to play if you don't have a troop. Also, just keep in mind right here, the current boosted summons, these summons that are right here have a higher likelihood of being summons whenever you summon them. Just keep in mind too, it's only a 3 out of 4% chance, or not 3 out of 4, 75% chance of you actually getting these troops, from my understanding. And it's not a guaranteed that you are going to get them, so keep that in mind too. And also the checks of rarity right here. So pretty much rarity for the rare, for you to actually get it, is going to be 78%, epic is going to be 15%, legendary is going to be 5, mythic is going to be 1, secret's going to be 0.25. And also you have some pity up here. And what this means is once the bar hits 100%, you're guaranteed to get a shiny or a mythic if it hits 100%. Sometimes some people are unlucky like me, and we actually have to wait until the 100% mark. And you also have the option to buy some soul gems right here on the side as well. Just keep that in mind too if you guys do not want to grind for them. I'm going to drink a little bit of water. Make sure to stay hydrated, you guys. Alright, so let's go ahead and move on to our floors. So pretty much now our floors are going to be organized by individual floor. So you have floor 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 is to be announced. It's supposed to come out next update, supposedly next big update. So I'm assuming it's probably going to be around like the end of chapter 2 or the beginning of chapter 3. And pretty much when you do beat the boss on level 50, pretty much you are going to get a head. And pretty much this is what Scully talks about right here. Once you beat it on level 50, you do get the head. And also, once you do beat the boss for the first time, you do get double the rewards. And also, once you win 5 times, like get a 5 win streak, you get double the rewards as well. So let's say that you get 15 soul gems each time you play. On the 5th time, you get 30. So just keep that in mind. Also, we're going to kind of go in so we can kind of just demonstrate a little bit more things about it. And also, these portals are no longer 1 to 3 players. It's now 1 to 4 players, which is definitely a big W in my opinion. So now that we're loading in, I'm just going to go ahead and talk about some stuff on the left side, which you guys should probably know. And pretty much, you're going to have like the name of the boss and the name of the map. And it's also going to show you like a little description of what it looks like. as well as how many wins you have gotten on the room. Once you click on any of these guys right here, they'll actually tell you like, hey, like this is what you get for the rewards when you beat the boss. You get on easy, you get a 100% chance of getting 15 soul gems. You get a 20% chance of getting a voodoo token, 10% chance of getting the urns, and a 2% chance of getting the boss pet, as I did mention earlier. The only thing that changes is going to be the soul gems. So on normal, you get 22, hard, you get 29, and a horror, you get a 36. And pretty much when you do click play, pretty much you do spawn in, and you do pretty much have the option to choose whichever one you want to do. And then once you click on it, pretty much it'll go ahead and just automatically put it in. But just keep in mind, if you do play on easy, it'll usually be a little bit more easier, as in the sense as it'll be a little bit more slower. I don't think it said that it's slower, but I've learned that it's been slower on it compared to horror, which I'm not 100% sure. But usually every time you beat it, it increases speed by 0.1%. From what a couple of my dedicated people in the house have told me. Now let's go ahead and head back to the lobby. I'll get a little bit more water because we got to stay hydrated. Alright, so now let's kind of go ahead and move into the endless location. So endless, which is the garden, is going to be an endless mode, which is like you could go ahead and continue to play for as much as you want. And pretty much the Scally tells you about it. This is the endless mode. Every 10 waves, pretty much you do get a reward. So just keep that in mind. However, rewards end at wave 150. So just keep that in mind. You won't get anything else after that. And pretty much you do have maps dedicated to certain characters. So you have Boom Bear, you have Freak Show, you have okay, that's not his name. You have Nitro. And then you also have Skull Shot. And for right now, I will definitely tell you guys this. Another thing, you guys, as I did mention before, there are certain tags that you should be paying attention to. And for example, Freak Show right here is the only booster out of all three of them. So usually Freak Show is good to have if you're running paranormal. But for starters, I would recommend going ahead and get Boom Bear. Reason why is because Boom Bear is just such a friendly beginner player tower that it can carry you, especially if you level it up to level 5 and you have Inferno on it. It's definitely a big W. And to this day, I still have my shiny Boom Bear. I personally loved it in the beginning, and unfortunately when I got to like level like 90, I had to say goodbye to him, but I still have him in my inventory. But definitely I would say get this guy, just have him. Also, another thing I'm going to teach you guys, and this is going to be a secret between me and you, okay? It's going to be a secret. If you have extra Boom Bears, right, you could open him, and let's say you don't get a shiny, because I'm definitely not going to get a shiny. You can open him, and after that, you could go ahead and just type up Boom Bear. You could click on him, and if you have too many of him, you could sell him for 500 soul gems. So this might be another way that you guys could actually like summon a lot of stuff, or you guys could go ahead and purchase like realm keys or death certificates. But once you sell them, you get 500. Just keep that in mind. Just secret between us two, because this is the greatest way to, in my opinion, to get soul gems quickly. Anyways, you do have other beginner-friendly towers that are going to be Skull Shot right here, as well as... I think Skull Shot's the only beginner-friendly tower. So these two, I would just recommend just have both of them. Boom Bear and Skull Shot, because they are beginner-friendly. The other two, this one's kind of up in the air. Not a lot of people use them, but Freak Show, a lot of people use them if they're using Paranormal. Next, let's go ahead and talk about our realms next to us, or actually free play. Let's go into free play. So free play, it's also going to be 4 players as well, and it's kind of like the newer addition to the house. Pretty much it was introduced to us late February, I believe. And so pretty much in free play, you do have like certain locations. You have the slime, you have the chomper, you have the librarian, and you have like different rewards as well for each one of them. But you still kind of have like the same thing overall. So just keep that in mind. Also, when you click horror mode, just keep in mind, slime gives a lot less compared to chomper, and then also the librarian gives a lot more than chomper. But here's the difference. This guy, Dr. Jekyll, you actually get his tower too. So sometimes, and you also get like 150. So I would just recommend, in my opinion, it might be worth it to play this floor out of all the floors, just because you do have a 5% chance of getting this tower as well. Also, each one of these locations are going to be kind of like strictly, it's going to be like the floor strictly dedicated to the play or to the boss. So Dr. Jekyll was pretty much in an old town. This is going to be it. Librarian has library, and so on and so forth. So let's go ahead and head back. And now I believe we could talk about the realms. That took a lot longer than it was actually supposed to. Oh my. So let's go ahead and actually collect a couple stuff here real quickly. Perfect. So we got a little bit of soul gems and a secret urn. So now we're going to go ahead and head back there and just look at the realms. And for you guys that do not know what the realms are, pretty much they're going to be a lot more difficult compared to the floors in my opinion when I first started playing. Pretty much the realms is this location where you need to have a key. If you don't have a key, all you got to do is talk to the Scally merchant. And pretty much it's going to be 500 per each one. I'm going to go ahead and buy one to give you guys an example. And pretty much if you guys want to look at it, it's going to be right here and you're going to have them right here. I have 6 in total. And you have to give this guy a key. He's going to give you a little bit of like a description of like, hey, you want to pass me a key? But unfortunately, he's not going to say anything because I already gave him a key earlier. Prior to me actually starting this thing, I kind of gave him the key just because I thought it was going to be a little bit more faster of a process. And you do have different portals from 1 player to 4 players. And once you enter in, it's going to take you to this kind of like dedicated location. I think it's kind of like, it's more of like a Japanese sense. Because I watch a lot of Japanese dramas, right? I've watched like a lot of documentaries. And pretty much once you're inside, you are guaranteed to get a 100% chance of getting a chapter 2 urn no matter what stage you play. You have a 20% chance of getting 5 voodoo tokens, 10% chance for a mystery urn, and you also get like a hero urn for each one of them. They're not going to be the boss, but there are going to be hero urns. You also have a 5% chance of actually getting a realm key and a 2% chance of getting the boss pet itself. And so once you enter, it kind of reminds me a little bit of the Ming Dynasty. If you guys know a little bit about it, pretty much you do have like your trees right here. And then this is the thing that mainly reminds me of it. Like I watch a lot of documentaries about it. And pretty much you do have to defend one exit and there's multiple entrances. One thing before we take off though, that you guys need to know. These circles right here, these provide boosts to your characters. So make sure to have your characters kind of inside the circle. I usually put them like on the outline right here. So let me show you an example. I'll put them like right here. This is where I'll usually put them. And from there, they'll attack. But usually you want to put your troops in there because right now they're doing that much attack. And actually, let me sell one. Let me see if I could actually... So let's compare them. So this guy is doing 850. This girl is doing 1,000. So just keep that in mind. It does give you a boost. It might not be a lot, but it makes a difference on the higher waves. Now let's go ahead and head back. And so I think now it's going to be a great time for us to go ahead and talk about pretty much Def. His name is Def. I call him Def Dealer. But pretty much this is where you sacrifice your troops in order to upgrade troops as well. So pretty much the reason why I have like 5s on each of my characters is because I have sacrificed them like those towers and just upgraded one of them individually. And pretty much in order for you to actually make a deal with the Death Dealer, you have to talk to the Death Certificate guy. If you don't have any Death Certificates, collect one, and then you're going to have Death Certificate. And pretty much this is what it's going to look like. It's going to look like this. Once you have one, you're going to go ahead and talk to this guy and be like, hey, you know what? I want to go ahead and sacrifice one of my heroes to pretty much level up one of my heroes. And so pretty much I'm going to go ahead and let's go ahead and do a Corrupt Angel. So we're going to put Corrupt. Oh, I don't know how to spell. Oh, my. I'm going to sacrifice this guy because it's not shiny. Usually I sacrifice my non-shinies to upgrade my shiny. So I'm going to sacrifice this guy. Once you sacrifice him, you will get an orb. And pretty much the orbs will be here. And you just got to look for it. And pretty much it's going to be right here. You're going to use it and you're going to pretty much go ahead and boost him in whatever stats you want. He pretty much has speed, damage, boost, and range. But I'm personally going to go ahead and put him in boost. Just because usually you want to put him in boost. 9 out of 10 times you do. But if it's like a character that only boosts like one character, usually that's kind of the place where it's like, I don't know if I want to put it in boost or not. And if you guys need a little bit of help of deciding where you guys actually want to place your stuff, pretty much there's going to be a little description right here. And pretty much this was given to me by Sony Red. Someone gave it to him, but I don't exactly know who gave it to him. So I'm just going to go ahead and say this was provided by Sony Red. And so this is pretty much what I look at whenever I want to boost stuff. And usually I do 2 speed, 2 damage. That's what I usually run. However, sometimes I'll put it all in damage if I don't really care about the 44%. And I think it's just a cool tower with a cool animation usually. And that's pretty much like a dumb reason to like actually put it in there. But usually I do 2 and 2. And if you have like, as I told you guys before, the universal ones, Wizard or Demon Mage, always put it in boost because they boost everybody. However, if you have both of them together at the same time, they cancel each other out, and whoever has the smaller boost will be the one that boosts. So just keep that in mind as well. Also, you will also have summoners, and pretty much these summoners, right? So for example, Lion Tamer. Lion Tamer is a summoner, and he's gonna have some unique qualities too. And I'm just gonna go ahead and hide my webcam real quickly. So he's gonna be the one that has the weird stats, right? He has max health, he has respawn time, temp, help, speed, and damage. And so pretty much for him, even if you do decide to like sacrifice some stuff for him, it's probably a best idea not to do that, but just because you won't see anything for his sacrifice stuff. And pretty much developers have had this issue since chapter 0, which was like last year, like when they first launched this game. So I would just recommend don't go ahead and sacrifice them, or else you're gonna have just orbs right there that are just gonna be chilling. But definitely I would tell you this from experience, you usually want to boost the speed at which they spawn in, or the health. So just keep that in mind. If they ever decide to fix it, which I highly doubt, that's how you do it. Now let's go ahead and just talk about the Demon Slayer. And so pretty much this Demon Slayer has quests for you. This is kind of like something that's brand new, and this was not mentioned in the last video that I made, but pretty much this Demon Slayer has quests for you to do throughout the entire map. You could do it in the circus event, you could do it in the crypts, you could do it in the floors, free play, endless, just you name it, it's there. And pretty much you do have different tasks, and pretty much if you want to go ahead and select a task, click on task, and they give you different tasks: easy, medium, hard, and pro. Usually I do pro, but I did have to kind of delete this last one so I could kind of show you guys like what I had. So I had to get rid of my my streak, which is kind of sad, but it's all right. But pretty much it is based on your level. And I will say this, I'm at level 225 I believe, and I struggle on the pro, just because sometimes it will count as you have to get the individual kills, and since I play with people, sometimes they'll get my kills and it won't count for me, which kind of sucks. And you also get like these points right here on the side. Once you get those points, you just go to the Slayer chest, and you could actually purchase any one of these guys right here. Or you could purchase chapter urns as well, soul gems, voodoo tokens, or realm keys. And right now, I don't know much about these, just because I personally don't have them. But there are other people like Bing, I think it's Bing Gaming. You have Arsha, and you have Frosty, which kind of go a little bit more in depth in this from my understanding. So you could definitely check them out as well. Now let's go ahead and talk about our featured urns for the crypt, which are going to be these. And pretty much you have the pharaohs, you have King Scythos, and then you have King Crypt Arch, which I call Cleopatra because she just looks as psychotic as Cleopatra. And each one of these are going to be worth 500 Robux, so just keep that in mind. If you guys do want to purchase them, you definitely can. And we're going to go ahead and actually, yeah, we'll head inside of here. I did miss one thing, but we'll go ahead and do a U-turn once we're done. You do have different places like King Solbeck, King Basset, you have King Ra, and King Anubis. And I haven't played this as much as I would like to, because personally I am pretty much sponsored by other games, and pretty much since I'm not really recognized as a content creator on this game, pretty much I go ahead and kind of dedicate my time into other ones like Zombie Defense, Play Tower Defense, and other big, or not big names, medium names like that. And overall, pretty much some of these kings will not allow certain towers to pretty much attack. Like for example, some won't attack in Anubis. I just don't know the specifics on that, just because I haven't really been playing it as much. Also, if you get like these little like tokens, like the one on top of this guy's head, pretty much you could go ahead and go here and purchase any one of these things. These are going to be cosmetics, which you could pretty much run around with. These are going to be just like, they won't even do any damage. And this right here, the Scarab right here, once you use this, it'll take you to like the ultimate boss where you pretty much fight and you can get body parts to pretty much create him. It's kind of like Midas overall. If you guys were here for Midas, that is. Next, let's go ahead and head into the tomb. And pretty much when you go ahead and get these tokens, right? These tokens are going to be right here on the right side. It'll tell you how much you have at all times. You can pretty much use them in the crypt, and you can pretty much go to any crypt. And you have, I believe, if I remember correctly, it's like, it's a 20... I don't remember the exact number, but it's 24 point something percent of you getting this. So you have a 24 point something percent of getting 2 to 12 voodoo tokens, 1 to 2 chapter urns, 1 mystery urn, and 1 of these tokens. And you also have a 1% chance of actually getting the actual king, which is going to be featured on the bottom. And each one is going to have a different king, just because it's going to be a different section. So just keep that in mind as well. And when you pretty much use the Scarab, you could pretty much go ahead and build this guy right here. And overall, you pretty much have the option to open, and you could add the parts right here as well. So now let's go ahead and head back and just talk about the one thing that I missed, which is going to pretty much be the chapter 2 urns. And so for you guys that do not know, you could pretty much buy chapter 2 urns for, I believe, 150 Robux, or you could also get them from realms, or you could also trade them as well. And once you're up here, pretty much you're going to go here and you could have the option to buy them, and pretty much you're going to have all these characters here. But if you want to get all of the characters, you can, and once you get all 5, you have the opportunity to actually get house spawn when chapter 2 ends. However, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna make sure you guys understand this, because some people just do not understand this, and I'm just gonna try to say this as best as I can. You need all 5. All 5. You need Detective Scully, Spiky, Barbarian, Cosmic, and Kryles to get house spawn at the end. So if that does not mean like I've had it before and I've traded it, no, that does not work. You need to have all 5 in your inventory in order to get one of house spawn at the end of the chapter. And you could get a total of 10 house spawns, so that means you have a total of 10 of each of these characters. So just please, please, please understand that, because some people don't understand that. Some people will trick you and be like, oh yeah, you don't need all 5 right now. You do. Don't let other people trick you. You need all 5 when the end of the chapter ends to get one of them, and the max you can get is 10. So keep that in mind, please, because I see a lot of people just getting scammed that way. One last thing we'll talk about, because I don't think we really talked about it, was the trading. And pretty much when you click on trading, it'll give you a variety of names that pretty much will be in green or red. Green meaning that they're willing to trade, red meaning that they do not want to trade. And if you want to disable trading, you just click on that and then it turns red. Also, just keep in mind too, you could pretty much trade anything. You could trade urns, you could trade heroes that do not have the blue and yellow arrow. That means it's been traded. You can't retrade traded troops. You could trade urns, and you could pretty much trade body parts too. And that's pretty much it, realistically. Oh, you could also trade realm keys as well as death certificates as well. So now let's go ahead and talk about our events. So whenever we have an event, it'll be on the left or right side of spawn. Right here, we don't have anything here right now, but we pretty much do have the circus. I did make a video kind of going in depth into the circus, so I won't really talk too much about it. But pretty much this is where you're going to have your Roblox urns right here. You also have things here you can buy for circus gems. You have 2 towers, Lion Tamer, and Fire Breather. You also have balloons, which give you a 10% boost. The ticket, which pretty much gives you access to the Ringmaster's location, and Lion Pet, which was 1,500. And yes, I know I'm going to have people in the comments that are going to be super upset because I have a lion that is level 7, which means I bought that 7 times. Why didn't I buy other urns? Realistically, I want to have my lion at 100, so just we're on the same page. Also, you have the featured towers right here, which is going to be the Fire Breather and the Lion Tamer, as well as Bingo and Bongo urns that you could actually collect. Once you beat the Bingo tent or Bongo tent 25 times, it unlocks. Not level 25, once you beat it 25 times on any level. So just keep that in mind. So some people are confused. And you do have your portals here as well. And I personally recommend definitely do Bongo, Bingo, and Ringmaster first, because Beastmaster and Mimic, from my personal experience, are difficult, because I got slaughtered pretty easy on those. But yeah, overall, I think that's pretty much everything that we covered. There's not really much more I could tell you guys. However, if you guys are interested in joining the Discord for this game, there are a couple benefits of being a part of it. And I'm actually going to go ahead and show you guys how you guys could join if you guys do want to join. Pretty much, you're going to go to Roblox, right? And then once you load up, you're going to go ahead and click on the house. And then you're going to scroll down to where it says join the community. And then you're just going to go ahead and accept it. I already accepted it, so I can't really accept it again. But I'm going to go ahead and open up Discord real quickly so I could just go ahead and show you guys some stuff as well. And so pretty much when you're here, right, and it's already here what I wanted to show you. But once you load in, right, you're going to load into the announcements. It'll give you pretty much up-to-date announcements. You have videos, all that stuff, yada, yada. But pretty much one thing that you guys would really want to do is go to the mod FAQs. And if you want to learn anything about any characters, pretty much all you got to do is go to the character stats, which is provided by the Cat Facts. And pretty much once you click on it, it'll pretty much give you every description about every character, their tags, their information, their lore, if they boost, if they don't, pretty much their damage, whatever they do, speed, if they're a spawner, if they're not a spawner, if they're a booster. It pretty much gives you all that information. So that's there as well if you guys want to check it. Big shout out to the Cat Facts. Anyways, guys, that pretty much completes the entire tutorial. I hope this pretty much helps you guys out. And if it doesn't, just let me know. If you guys have any questions about anything feel free to let me know as well, because I'll definitely try to help you guys to the best of my abilities. Just go ahead and leave a comment in the comment section. Anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Really do appreciate it, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Until then, take care.